Another year of college football is upon us, and it's time once again for Southern Pickwit Football, brought to you by BFI Waste Systems. BFI, helping make the world a cleaner place to live. And by Knoxville Salvage, the do-it-yourself headquarters. Hi, this is your Dave Young along with Steve Armistead, and we'll be right back on Southern Pickwit Football. But first, these important messages.
It's true that in football, the offense will never move forward without someone up front to do all the dirty work. Well, the same thing goes for the environment. Somebody has to get all that solid waste out of the way, and that's where the good folks with over 30 years of experience come in. BFI, Browning Ferris Industries. BFI is the company you can depend on, not only for solid waste removal, but BFI also provides you with curbside and commercial recycling of aluminum and steel cans, plastics, glass, and paper. And the folks at BFI are the experts in biomedical waste transportation and disposal. For over 30 years, BFI has been helping make the world a cleaner place to live.
Week number two. It's week number two. Week number two. I'm excited, Keith. It's the second week of Southern Pickwit Football. Oh, I'm excited.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Dave Young. And this weekend's football tip for the ladies is as follows.
Okay.
You'll know that a Hail Mary pass is about to be thrown if you see the wide receiver come running out onto the field.
Yes, Keith.
Dressed up as a non-Weber. And hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Up first at Legion Field in Birmingham, the Alabama Crimson Tide will be hosting a team that they beat last year on a 35-yard touchdown with 17 seconds to go. The Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi, Coach Gene Drellins, and the last 3 wins by the Red Elephants in the series has been by a combined total of only 19 points. Well, when that idiot Forrest Gump said he thought that the world was coming to an end in 1990 when the Crimson Tide lost to the Golden Eagles, I said, I know what you mean.
Yep.
Sort of like when Bill Clinton was elected president. And that bothers me.
Bothers me, too.
Bothers me, too.
Yes, sir. Hello, Forrest.
Hello. When Mama said that football at Alabama will be teaching me the value of good sportsmanship, I said, okay.
Yeah.
And the cheerleaders at Alabama will be teaching me the value of good binoculars. And that's all I have to say about that.
All you have to say, class dismissed.
Red Elephants over the Golden Eagles. Under the lights in the Bluff City, the land of Elvis, the Memphis Tigers, Harv Pauley, play host to a hopefully rejuvenated bunch of defenders of Mississippi State, led by Joe Lee Dunn, the new defensive coordinator.
Hey, Harv, come on in.
Hello, Americans. Page 1 Sporting Light, Dave. According to Mahatma Gandhi and Hillary Clinton, Elvis is actually worshipped as a god over in India. It's true.
Oh, really?
Because in India, the thin Elvis is worshipped as a rock star, and the fat Elvis is...
what, Harv?
Worshipped as a cow. Oh, so now you know the worst of the story, Harv Pauley.
Say good day, Harv.
Good day. Maroon Bulldoggies over the Tigers. The Georgia Bulldoggies have the weekend off, Coach Ray, to get ready for their first visit to play the Gamecocks of South Carolina.
Hi, Coach.
Well, Coach Dooley says that Coach Jim Donald had to take little Ugly 5 to the vet yesterday for the same old problem.
And what was the problem, Coach Ray?
The toilet seat fell on Ugly's head again. But I don't want to get into that.
Getting a drink, no doubt.
In Jackson, Bullwinkle, those Ole Miss Rebels play host to the cadets of Southern Conference, VMI.
Yes, sir. VMI, Bullwinkle.
Hello there, football lovers.
How are you, Bullwinkle?
Fine. And now our military lesson for today.
For today.
What with female cadets now being allowed into VMI, I can just hear it now in one of those folk co-ed foxholes when a fellow says,
Yes?
Hello there, G.I. Josephine. How's about me borrowing your pantyhose to shine my grenade launcher? Shoot that thing! Viva la Dirty!
Viva la Dirty!
Rebels over the cadets. Well, by now, the Thursday night game between the Vanderbilt Commodores and the Fighting Irish of Lou Holtz will have already been played. But, Dave, we got the big old hunchback on the horn, and let's see how his arrival was into the Music City.
Yeah, Coach Lou, we're on the air live here at Southern Pickwit Football, and I hope it was very nice when you came down to the Music City.
Dave? Me and John Paul ran into Glenn Campbell in Nashville on Wednesday night.
You did?
Yep, but at age 61, Glenn Campbell seems to be a lot less worried about what's general on his mind.
Yes, Coach Lou?
than he is about what's resting gentle on his stomach. We'll see ya.
We'll see you. Let's take a break on Southern Pickwit Football. We will return right after these messages. WC Bills here for KRS. That's Knoxville Salvage for those in the know. Save money on all your back-to-school needs at Knoxville Salvage. Your choice of a composition notebook or 80-count school paper is only 29 cents. Big ballpoint pens, 10 for 49 cents. And who says a nickel won't buy much anymore? Pocket folders for every school subject, a nickel apiece. Knoxville Salvage, 2 locations, 835 North Central, 200 East Magnolia, Knoxville. We are back on Southern Pickwit Football. Hey, Keith, who's up next, big fella?
Yes, indeedy. Up next as they inaugurate the 96th season, hosting the Blue Devils of Duke University, the number 3 Florida State Seminoles of Bobby Bowden. Got a good luck telephone call from Citizen Bob Dole, who's with us now, thanks to Ma Bell.
Citizen Dole, hello, how are you?
Okay. Well, when Bobby Bowden was telling me that one Seminole player spent 7 hours yesterday signing autographs, I said, well, big deal.
Yeah.
Because yours truly still holds the record for holding an ink pen for 52 years and counting. Whatever.
Whatever.
Seminoles over the Blue Devils. Up next in Gainesville, Kip Scary, the number 4 Florida Gators of Steve Spurrier are going to be hosting the 1AA Georgia Southern Eagles. Oh, hi, Kip Scary, without Rick Barry. And speaking of Steve Spurrier,
Yes?
Dave, up until he came up to Fulton County Stadium this summer to get me better informed, I always thought that a suicide squeeze was...
A suicide squeeze was what, Kip?
overcrowding in Dr. Kevorkian's minivan. Boy, that's odd. So long, everybody.
So long, Kip.
Gators over Georgia Southern. With a pretty strong defense, the Cincinnati Bearcats are looking for their first back-to-back winning seasons, Joe B. Dole, since 1981-82, as they're going to be hosting the Kentucky Wildcats of Bill Kirby.
Well, okay, talking about Cincinnati, Dave, when my boy Rick Patino was telling Bill Curry that Red Zoner Margie Schott said that Adolf Hitler weren't such a bad feller,
Yep.
Coach Curry said, so that explains it.
Explains what, Joe B?
Well, Margie Schott wears a pair of jack boots and a monocle. Yep.
Bearcats over the Wildcats. Up next, Floyd the Barber, under the lights in Auburn. Terry Bowden's Tigers are going to be hosting some folks from California, Fresno State, coached by Jim Sweeney, the number 7 winningest active coach in victories with 196. Bad news in California, according to Terry Bowden. Bad news. Yeah.
And what is the bad news about California, boy?
Oh, it's still there. Jack boots and all. Well, boy. Tigers over the Bulldogs. Under the lights in Baton Rouge, Modine. The number 20 LSU Bengal Tigers will tee it up against the Houston Cougars from Conference USA, who last year gave up some 33 points a game. Exactly, Keith, no question about it. And hey, Dave, good news for the quarterback at LSU.
Okay, good news.
A recent government study shows that any quarterback is more likely to get hit by lightning than by a Houston defensive player. LSU to play a little stufferino with Houston.
Come on in, the door is open.
Oh, Dave.
Yes, Dutch.
Dave, since Notre Dame is off on Saturday,
Yes?
me and Mommy the Gipperists are going to see that new Tarzan movie by Kevin Costner.
Oh, what's the title of it, Dutch?
Dances with Apes. Well, I better go get my monocle.
Coming, Mommy. Let's take a break on Southern Pickwit Football. I hope we'll return after these messages.
There's an awful lot being said these days about what you and I cannot do to stop the destruction of the environment. But thanks to the good folks at BFI with over 30 years of experience, we can do something about the proper disposal of solid waste and medical waste on a residential and commercial basis. And thanks to BFI's curbside and commercial recycling services, you can do something about the proper recycling of aluminum and steel cans, plastics, paper, and glass. Thanks to BFI, you can help make the world a cleaner place to live. For over 30 years now, the good folks at BFI truly have been looking out for the future of the world around us.
We are back on Southern Pickwit Football, and Keith, Seth Thomas says that it's time to wrap it up, big guy.
Yes, indeed.
Go on.
Last year, the only victory for the Mustangs of SMU came against Danny Ford's Razorbacks of Arkansas. But Frank Bulls and Slick Willie, I don't believe the visiting Mustangs are going to be doing very much damage in Fayetteville. Keith, you're exactly right. And Dave, Danny Ford was telling me that he has learned one thing from listening to the President and the First Lady.
And what is that, Frank?
That all the news out of the White House is a lot more interesting since the first couple just started making up their own facts. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Slick.
Well, I was telling Danny Ford that to commemorate Labor Day, Hillary went into a dimly lit room with incense burning and had a chat with one of organized labor's greatest leaders.
Ooh, who was that, Slick Willie?
Jimmy Hoffa. Better than Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes.
Razorbacks over the Mustangs. In South Carolina, the Gamecocks will be putting a pasting on Central Florida. H. Ross, the boss, says the home crowd will finally have something to high-five each other about after a dismal 1995 season. Now, you people just don't get it. You don't understand that you should never, ever high-five the fellow sitting next to you at the stadium.
Mm-hmm. Why is that, H. Ross?
Especially if his name happens to be Edward Scissorhands. See there?
It's a done deal.
Get him out of here. And finally, under the lights in Rocket-Up Country, Coach Johnny Manners, the number 2 Tennessee Volunteers, are going to be hosting the Bruins of UCLA under the tutelage of first-year Coach Bob Toledo, now that old Terry Donahue's gone off to CBS Sports and will be there announcing the ball game. Well, Dave, Terry Bowden was telling me that one UCLA co-ed cheerleader's looking all around for a young man to date but not to marry, which is quite a coincidence.
Well, why do you say that, Coach Manners?
Because 2 days ago, singer Michael Jackson said the very same thing. You like Tennessee over UCLA?
I like Tennessee over UCLA.
Okay, adios, kazoo.
Adios, kazoos. Let me get the telephone. Southern Pickwit Football, we're on the air. Hello.
Dave?
Yes, Coach Lou.
Dave, it's me again.
How are you again?
Pretty good, Dave. We here at Notre Dame learned a little country music trivia while in Nashville.
Really? What is it?
Did you know that the group Alabama is the only band in the whole country music area to have a college football team named after them? Maybe the God Squad will be nominated one day for a CMA. What do you think?
Maybe.
We'll see you.
Well, hey, that's it for today, fellas. For Steve Armistead, this is your Dave Young saying thanks for being with us on Southern Pickwit Football. Brought to you by BFI Waste Systems and by Knoxville Salvage. Hey, we'll see you next week right here on Southern Pickwit Football.